I'm going to start with an excerpt from a book. So this
Okay.
book is called The Everyday.
The Everyday.
It has essays on the everyday, and it's by
Okay.
Documents of Contemporary Art.
All right, interesting.
Let's start with a sentence. If I can find one. If this were all there was, critique of everyday life would only bring the disappointing aspects of social praxis to the fore. Do you know what praxis means?
In this context,
No.
who knows? I mean, what just general, like, just sort of general day-to-day social, like, well, I was gonna say practices, but that's the word.
Yeah, if this were all there was, critique of everyday life would only bring the disappointing aspects of social praxis to the fore.
So is that kind of saying that if life is just this, then everything, by analyzing it, we're just analyzing all the boring shit that we do every day.
Yeah. Critique of everyday life would only bring the disappointing answers. If this were the critique of everyday... Yeah, so in a sense, it's sort of saying that it's pointless to critique everyday life.
Yeah.
Is that what it's saying? So
That's how I would interpret it.
That's how I would interpret it as well. Let's try another one.
Okay.
I'm going to pick from another... This one is Art Without Art.
Art Without Art.
I think this one's a bit simpler.
Okay.
Let's see. So this is from A Primitive Reformation by Roy Oxlade.
Okay.
Support for a reformation of the arts is dependent on the dissatisfaction with the church as it stands. The edifice in question goes back a long way, and its trappings and theology are embedded at all levels of society. So it's saying church is embedded in all levels of society, or art.
Right. I feel like that's referring to the Reformation around Henry VIII's kind of time, in a way.
Really?
Because I think back then, most art and music was, well, not most, but I think a lot of it was sort of directed towards being some kind of religious practice. Yeah. And I think the Reformation, a big part of it was critiquing Catholicism and how it sort of was quite flamboyant. And I think they wanted it to be quite sort of something a bit sort of quieter and internal.
So that was Protestant. So this is where Protestant comes from.
Yeah, well, that's sort of whenever sort of people sort of talk about Reformation, that's kind of the first thing that comes to my head, anyway.
Yeah. Okay. That's I don't really that. Yeah, I feel like Reformation, reforming things, reformed the party.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
Let's not get into that. So I have some questions. Let's go into the questions. Did you have some time to think about some answers for some of these?
Yeah, I think so. Whether I remember it or not, we'll soon find out.
Oh, one thing I did want to talk to you about is greetings. And handshakes.
Yeah.
Because for me, when I'm trying to when I meet another, especially guys, what handshake do you go in for? I really don't know.
When you say what type of handshake, or
because
what
there's different
greeting do you do?
Yeah, in general. So it's if it's either no touching or a hug, that's I feel is I have to know someone more to then hug them. But then greeting them, it's that's why a fist bump works for me.
Yeah.
Which is how we greeted today.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah,
but then if you
cool.
if you have a couple drinks and then you hug everyone goodbye, but that's saying goodbye. Greeting is what I find really difficult because I get nervous about what do you do, and so often I have bad handshakes. And even today I went to the park and I took my football and I was playing football, and this guy came up to me and he said hello to me, and he played football with me for a bit, and then when he said bye, we hit hands, but it was really awkward. And then some people going for this one or this one.
Yeah, I think to a degree, like sometimes those moments are kind of unavoidable because everybody has their own sort of way of how they like to do it. But I tend to be sort of a little bit sort of observational and try and kind of like see their body language.
Yeah.
And if they, you know, you can kind of start to feel that they're going to, you know, extend their hand.
Yeah.
Or I generally sort of am probably like a bit more sort of reactive than like being proactive in that situation. I will just kind of be thinking more about what the other person wants, and they will tend to kind of give the first move. But sometimes, like if it's like a situation where I'm like confident that like that a handshake is going to be like deemed all right, like like say at the beginning of a job interview or whatever, then I tend to go for the sort of standard extend your hand,
handshake,
like you know, solid handshake, because it's just there's so many variants these days that like I just don't just sounding like a really old man. But
well, I feel like you can't be coming to a job interview and like dapping them up.
yeah
So I feel like a handshake is pretty universal.
Come straight in with the fist bump.
When was the last job interview you went to?
It was
for your current one.
No, I've done a couple. One relatively recently.
Was it for music?
The one I did before that was for music. Yeah.
What was that one for?
That was quite a frustrating one.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of glad I didn't get it in the end. But
yeah,
like that was it was a company called Rocksteady. And what they do is you basically would you get lots of little mini instruments and you go into schools and you do like you basically get the kids to come out of their classes and they go and do like rock band sessions where like, you know, they all get to have a go at playing guitar, bass, drums.
That's quite cool.
Keyboards, singing.
How old are these children? What kind of age range?
They were like primary school.
Okay.
Mostly. So it was kind of like sort of 6 to 7 up to sort of like 11, 12.
Because like that to me signals like you need quite a lot of high energy. And that would be exhausting to do day after day.
That was I think that was what like ended up doing it for me. But like because I got to the final of like 4 stages. Like and so I'd done like an initial.
There were a 4-stage interview for this.
Wow. So you had to do like just like a sort of a general you sent off your application and someone would like I think call you back and speak to you about it and then see if you could, you know, move on to like interview stage. And then there was 2 main interviews after that. And then the final thing was you basically just had to get up and do 2 classes in front of people, which was pretty nerve-wracking. And in
front of adults,
or
with their children though?
No, it was 2 people from the company
you just
who were judging you basically.
Oh, wow.
And the thing is that they said like it's one of those ones where they say like, oh, you don't need any experience, we'll train you to how to do everything.
But then they're making you perform in front of
and they sent you like a little video of like, this is how the lessons are supposed to go. But they didn't really give you much advice or anything. And like it was first thing in the morning as well. And like if I had got the job, I would have been working in more local schools to where I was living. But the interview was like over an hour's drive away. And I had to be there for like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was just absolutely exhausted. But the whole thing would have been far too draining, I think, because you'd have to go to like 2 schools a day.
Definitely. For what, 5 days a week?
5 days a week. So you do have like a morning school and you do like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 half-hour classes. And then like an afternoon / evening school. And the same thing. And you have to travel in between on your lunch break.
That's crazy.
But it seemed like it was, would have been
Would
quite
be interesting.
fun and rewarding, but
Yeah.
I think at the same time,
Draining.
I don't have the energy levels required. Like, I feel at some point I might have just like punched one of the children or something.
Yeah, because I feel like I've done that. Well, I worked for DPD for a month, and it was like, in my mind it was like, I'll just drive a van and I'll kind of drive about and deliver these packages to houses, and it'll all be kind of nice. But then it actually, I had to get to the factory or warehouse at around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. Your van is not ready. You have to, like, your packages are in your spot, and then you have a machine and you have to number all your packages from like, which house is closer, and then which will be at the end of your route. But you have like 100 packages, and they vary in sizes. Like, people are ordering like garden equipment and things. So you had to load up your van in the morning and then set off, and then you're coming back, you finish drop off around like 4 p.m. And then what you have to do is go to factories and pick up, like, there was a period I had to pick up like 20 subwoofers. Like these huge, like, heavy things. I had to load them into my van to then take back to the warehouse. And it was
Funnily
also
enough, I just bought one of those
You
yesterday.
just bought a subwoofer. Is this, because I only know a subwoofer as something that goes in a car.
Yeah, well, basically, it's to do with a sound system. So generally, like, a subwoofer is, if you want, if you're someone who really likes having a lot of low end bass,
it's bassy, yeah.
It's there to sort of send just the bass frequencies to, which means that sort of the overall sound the quality is better.
Yeah, deeper, right? Or it feels deeper.
Yeah, and you will feel it a lot more. And if it's in a car, then you're going to be like vibrating like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's designed just for the lower frequencies, which means that then, like, your regular speakers can just deal with the higher frequencies, so the sound is just a little bit clearer.
So if you're purchasing headphones, what is that something you have? You have headphones,
I do have headphones, yeah.
So would you like bassier headphones, or do you like higher end?
Well, as my first instrument is the bass guitar, so like I do like a bit of bass, but not too much. Not like sort of beats. They tend to be very, very bass heavy when it's sort of a bit too much. But I want to be able to hear sort of the bass frequencies and hear them quite pronounced.
I remember when I was younger, I bought specific like in-ear headphones, and they were from Sony, and they were like they were huge at the time, and they were extremely bassy. Yeah. Because it was when like dubstep was really popular.
Oh yeah.
And I needed that bass for the dubstep.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's move on to another question. What is the least favorite age you've been?
The least favorite age I've been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for this one, like,
your current one.
Yeah.
You're going through a terrible time.
No. Actually, no. I think for my to my memory, my worst age was probably 29.
Okay.
And
you're, how old are you now? Like 34?
36 now.
36.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Getting up there.
Yeah. I was probably about 34 when we first met, maybe 33 or 34.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It would have been 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. I think 29 was like, I remember my 29th birthday. Like, my sister had bought me tickets to go and see Dylan Moran, the comedian, for my birthday. Yeah. And I went there. He was really good. The show was great and everything. But I just remember feeling just really miserable.
Oh no. just on that specific day.
Yeah. Well, and sort of for a little while afterwards.
So this was when you turned 29?
Yeah, when I turned 29.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because it felt like, I don't know, it just sort of, because it felt like the last year of your 20s, and like felt like all the classic, like, what have I done with my life by this kind of point, and like next year I'm going to be 30, and I've got, so like, because I think you hear a lot from TV and media of like people thinking all the things you've got to do before you're 30, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking I've probably done none of those things. But and sort of I think it kind of becomes kind of like an arbitrary kind of like milestone. And as soon as I turned 30, I actually just stopped caring. And it kind of like, it was kind of a relief in a way. But I suppose I kind of felt like that pressure to sort of be sort of to have sort of have my life in a certain trajectory or whatever.
Did you, from that period, did you try and make any changes?
Yeah, well, I think I certainly was trying to make more efforts into sort of what I wanted to do, which is all music related things. And I was I ended up having quite a busy year, I seem to remember. And then sort of the COVID came along and kind of screwed it all up. But but yeah.
I've always thought people, or I can imagine turning 29 is worse than turning 30, because by the time you're 30, you've sort of got used to the idea that you're going to be 30.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of feel like at 29, you feel like the clock is starting to tick.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're going to feel similarly at 39?
I'd like to think not. I don't think so. Like,
do you think there's not as big of a social pressure to have your life a certain way at 40 than it is at 30? Like, it's not as big of a change.
I think there kind of is, but like it doesn't feel as intense to me.
Maybe you're more in the place you wanted to be.
Yeah,
were.
Probably am. And I have quite a few friends now who are over 40, and like I don't sort of their lives are all at sort of various different points, and like I don't feel like there's any sort of right or wrong about where they are in their lives. So hopefully I won't be like so judgmental about myself.
Yeah, I feel like the worst, well, for me is my teenage years, probably like 15 or something, which was I remember my sister, who's actually, it must have been like I was 14, because my sister's 5 years older than me, and it was when she went off to uni, and then I feel like all my parents' attention turned on me with like schooling and academic stuff. And I remember just like hating it so much. And I wasn't old enough to drive yet, so you're kind of trapped in that kind of situation a little bit. But it was only, I remember for a year it wasn't great, and then you sort of find your way with it, and it was a bit better. But that was definitely like a pressure cooker, I think.
Yeah, I think like family life in that regard can be so like weird. Just like suddenly something changes, and then just the whole dynamic around your living space is completely different.
Yeah, because I was just sort of, I was bopping about. I was not a lot of attention on me.
Yeah.
Or at least not, there was
You're
attention.
able to hide.
Yeah. I was just up in my room doing my own stuff, and then suddenly, it was like they were aware of everything I was doing, and then they learned, and they backed off a bit, which was quite nice. But
okay, you weren't doing anything too
I wasn't doing anything too bad. But yeah, that and then uni, I guess maybe, or first year of uni was quite was a bit weird. I think I didn't really socialize too much, and then I sort of learned how to socialize when COVID hit.
Yeah,
which was a bit bad, because then I was kind of stuck with people in my house, which was actually very nice. And then I ended up like FaceTiming people randomly, and like playing Call of Duty a lot more.
Oh yeah.
And reconnecting with people that I was friends with before. And because I remember thinking of myself, I was like, right, I've got to actually make some like proper friends, like meaningful connections here. So I just had to put myself out there, and if I was embarrassed, then so be it.
Yeah, I think that's sort of something that was kind of not really like sort of the focus of a lot of the sort of issues during like the lockdowns and stuff. And I think like if you're, particularly when you're young, like developing like your social skills, which I don't think I developed any social skills until I was about 25 anyway.
Oh, okay.
And then like not being able to, because being in school and hanging out with your friends, that's kind of how you learn how like all of these things work.
How was your COVID then? What were you doing?
There's quite a quite a long answer to that if I want to answer in full, but
you don't have to go into too much detail.
But like it was the first lockdown was actually quite good because I was with housemates.
I enjoyed my first lockdown.
And there was quite a good dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once the sort of like second and third lockdowns came along, it was kind of like, it was kind of like I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think having time to sort of like do nothing was for a while was quite relaxing. But after you kind of got to sort of like month 4 or 5, it was kind of like, I feel like.
So I wanted to speak to you about guitars in general.
Yeah.
So how many guitars do you have?
How many guitars do I have? I should have thought about this. But,
surely you know.
Yeah, I don't know why people ask me that question all the time, and I always have to count.
Okay.
I think it's 7.
Okay.
Yeah, like so I've got 4 basses, 2 electrics, and a acoustic. Yeah, so it's 7.
Do you have a favorite one out of those?
My favorite one kind of changes. But
are they sort of tools for different occasions?
Generally speaking, like the reality is that like you only really need like sort of maybe one of each kind if that's how you're if you play multiple versions of the guitar, whether it's acoustic, electric, or bass guitar. But sometimes like most typically a bass guitar you play with it, they have 4 strings, but sometimes if you're playing on certain gigs and it's a certain styles of music where the notes you have to play are very, very low, it helps to have a 5-string bass with an extra string to play the super low notes.
Oh, okay. So that extra string is the lower end.
Yeah, you can set it up so that you have an extra higher one if you're doing lots of lead melodies and stuff. But generally speaking, like typically if you have extra string, it's the lower.
And are you going like flashy colors, or is it not important to you?
Not flashy colors, although I'd love to have a purple guitar one day.
Why?
I don't know. I just
love purple.
I just love purple. I have a purple car.
Okay. What car do you have?
I have a Citroen C3 Picasso.
C3. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And you're not putting your subwoofer in that?
Not to play music. No, I have taking it to gigs. Is the idea. Yeah, but although it took a lot out of me just getting it out of the car.
It's really heavy, isn't it?
Into the flat.
Yeah,
they're so heavy. So I'm gonna try and buy a trolley to.
Yeah. How big is it roughly?
It's for a PA system, so it's like
it's huge.
It's like 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters by something else. Yeah.
And do you have a specific store that you would buy that from? Your favorite store?
There's the one I tend to go to is called Anderton's. They're in Guildford.
Yeah.
They're sort of like an independent store, and they do lots of like stuff on YouTube as well, so keep sort of like their marketing going. But they're generally pretty nice when you get there, and they there's a few places around that I've been to, which I won't name, but where like I've sort of gone in the door and they've just been like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" It's like, "Well, I'm here to buy musical gear."
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is it quite pretentious then? Some of them.
Some of them can be, yeah.
Okay. Like, why? What's
it's one or two of the sort of like there's places, sort of bass specific places as well. Sometimes you get the air that like if you're not like, because some of them will get like famous people or famous within like the bass or guitar playing world, not necessarily world famous people coming to like either buy a new instrument or get their instrument serviced or something like that, and so they can sort of like do all the social media stuff like, look, XYZ from this band is here.
Yeah, definitely.
And sometimes you feel like because you're just a regular punter or you're not like playing with some like really like well-known band, even if you are a professional musician, sometimes you like you feel like they might look down their nose at you a little bit.
Interesting. I didn't really have any concept of the musician world being like that, because I've gone into bike shops, like really expensive bike shops, and like not in like nice clothes and stuff, and I feel like they, or I've taken my bike into a really nice shop and like my bike's not that nice, and they take a while to get around to you, and
yeah,
and especially in like nice areas of London, I can imagine they're seeing like really nice bikes. And to be fair, I was only in there to buy like a really cheap like oil or something.
But even so, I suppose like ideally you would want everyone to sort of be made to feel welcome and treated equally, I guess. But
that's true.
Sometimes some of these places can't sort of help themselves, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of I listened to like Frank Skinner.
Yeah.
I listened to his radio show to like get to sleep.
Oh yeah.
And I've listened to it for quite a while, but he has a child. He has like a 10-year-old child now who's like ginger, and I don't know why it reminded me of this, but like they're really into comics, and they went into like a comic store, but on the window it was like everyone's welcome except gingers.
Oh no.
And it was like it was obviously a joke, but then apparently he said his child like just was didn't want to go in there, and he felt like he wasn't welcome.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the smartest joke, is it?
No.
Like even if it is a joke, it's just like comic books are popular with kids, so
yeah,
like if your 10-year-old ginger turns up, what do you think he's going to think?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it feels as if that kind of comic world is like I'm not really a part of it, but it feels like it's quite welcoming.
Yeah,
in general. Mark could get Marco on talk about comics.
Is he into comics?
Did you not know that?
I did not know that.
He's really
actually
into comics. Yeah.
Okay.
He did an exhibition that was really good in Bethnal Green, where he got some comic artists and got some of their work in like one of the spaces there. I think it's sort of an old church, and he got them all together. Like this was when he first started, like maybe a year or so ago.
Okay.
But it was interesting. He's really into that, and like are you a big fan of Doctor Who? Do you like Doctor Who?
I'm sort of medium on Doctor Who. I've seen some of it. I'm not big into it, but I enjoy it.
Who's your favourite Doctor?
I mean, yeah, it will just be David Tennant, I think.
Yeah. Are you not that? I'm not that passionate about it.
No, not particularly.
No,
I've only
really
seen
passionate.
the seasons with him or the seasons with Matt Smith. I haven't seen much of anyone else.
Yeah, I remember growing up. It was just the person before David Tennant.
Oh, what's his?
Eccleston or something.
Yes, Christopher Eccleston.
Christopher Eccleston, yeah. And then David Tennant, and then Matt Smith, and then I think I stopped watching it. I was too old for that.
Yeah,
I remember watching Top Gear around that time.
Oh God, yeah.
Were you into Top Gear?
Yeah, well, like my mum was, and
Your mum was into Top Gear?
She's massively into cars. Yeah, she's massively into the Formula One and stuff like that.
Oh.
And so we used to have it on like every Sunday. Like,
yeah.
I'm not really much of someone who like cares much about cars.
No.
Because like for me, like the most attractive part of a car is how much gear I can fit into it.
Yeah.
And all the sort of sexy fast ones, Ferraris and whatnot. You can't fit any music gear in those things.
No.
So it's completely useless to me.
Yeah.
But they made it quite funny, that show. Like you didn't have to be into cars to enjoy it.
Yeah, it was just the chemistry between the three people, the top three people.
yeah, indeed.
The main three.
Yeah. They were Clarkson and all of his escapades.
No, I've got a question here that I asked Alice before, but it's actually quite a hard one.
Okay.
Which is, what's something you think about that you think other people don't?
That I think other people don't.
Did you have a chance to think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think
I find it quite hard to answer.
It is quite a hard one because, like, to be honest, like, they're probably. Do you mean like in terms of like a completely original thought or like?
What I find interesting is when someone thinks that they think something original. It's really hard. I mean, I think it's just one of those questions I've like gone with. But when I thought of it, I thought it was better than it is.
Maybe. Well, I mean, it's interesting because I suppose like the one thing that I could sort of think of, because it's probably not really like a proper answer to the question, but it's like for me, like I don't think any of us probably have ever had like a completely original thought. I'm sure somebody, billions of people on the planet, but for me, like the one thing that sort of there's probably been in my head that is only in my head is probably like dreams, because I think only you can dream the dreams that you dream.
Yeah,
because like you're a unique combination of like experiences and people that you specifically have met and all of this kind of stuff that like ends up just being like data and the hard drive that is your brain. But then just kind of like, for me, like I was thinking, it's sort of like dreams are kind of like your brain just producing its own AI slop just for your entertainment while you're sleeping. And it's just the content that it picks from is just like anything from your life.
What are your dreams mostly like? Because I feel like my dreams can be very mundane sometimes.
I have a lot of mundane dreams. Like I have had dreams where I'm just turned up to work and it's a normal work day. And that is the extent of the dream. And then you wake up and you're like, oh god, I've actually got to go and do that for real now. I feel like I've already done a shift, you know. But every once in a while I just have like completely bizarre, like out there dreams. Like do you remember the talk show host Micheal Parkinson?
Yes. Well, I've seen him on YouTube clips.
I had a dream where I beat him up.
Okay.
Like in a really weird specific way, because like it was like I was in the dream, I was just like in a restaurant with some like random selection of my friends, some of which are people from the museum, I guess. And then like Micheal Parkinson, who has been dead for a number of years at this point, just walks into the room wearing like like WWE like world champion belt gear, and like people being like, oh, the world champion has just entered the room. And I did a little bit of I was never very good, but I did a little bit of like taekwondo when I was a kid, and then like my friends in the dream were like, well, you did a bit of martial arts, you should challenge him. And I was just like, no, he'll beat me, he'll beat the crap out of me. And then like and then it ended up just like the fight being like called and started, and then he was like in the dream he was like a 90-year-old man, so I just I just beat him. And
what was the feeling afterwards? Was it of celebration, or I've just beaten up at a 90-year-old man?
It was basically like this confusion of like, I'm the world champion now, but I did it by absolutely wrecking an old man.
That's funny. And what do you think? So is Micheal Parkinson a character that you know, No,
like
just a random
it's
character?
Completely random. Like I've seen like, I'd see bits of his show when I was growing up, because it would be, my parents would have it on the TV from time to time. But that was about it. And then like you'd see him in those adverts for like retirement, like
was he doing those chairs,
like, life insurance things?
Right.
And those chairs,
the mechanical chair.
I think did he do the mechanical chair lifts? I can't remember.
Maybe not.
But he certainly was doing those life insurance things.
That's interesting. Have you had any thoughts as to what that means, or are you not someone that? It's interesting. When did you have this one? Was it?
This was not too long ago. Maybe like 6 months ago.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I think dreams can mean like some things, but I don't think they're necessarily like really sort of deep and meaningful a lot of the time. I think it's just sort of your brain just kind of reflecting back a few things like perhaps that you've been thinking lately, and
it's processing, isn't it?
Yeah, processing, and just kind of weaving it into a random narrative with random bits of data that exist in there. But I think it like I think it could have been a few things. Like I'm always sort of like if you're sort of like self-employed or anything, you're always looking to sort of thinking about how you can improve yourself and in that regard. And perhaps it was like the idea of becoming world champion at something is like representing like goals and things. But beating up an old talk show host. I haven't worked that one out yet.
No. And do you have, because I feel like I have certain dreams that I return to. Like there'll be little worlds or little societies or something that I've gone to in the past that's an imagined place, or it can be vaguely familiar, like a holiday place, or there's one that's kind of near a train track for me, and it's like I have these little rooms and it will be a little mazy, and I'll know there's certain characters and there's certain like society dynamics, I think, and then but I that's sort of it, but when I have a dream about it, I'm like, oh, I was back there again. It feels like very visceral, very real.
I think I know what you mean. Like I can't think of anything specific for me, but sometimes you do find like it's sort of like the sequel to to a dream you had like a couple of months ago or whatever. And I have a lot of like recurring themes in my dreams. Like it's not like carrying on from like anything specific that I can remember. But like I often have the classic like, you're at school and you're doing your final exams and you haven't revised kind of thing.
That's your stress dream.
Yeah, stress dream. And then that sort of in more recent years turned into like you're doing a gig and you haven't prepared any of the material that you're going to play. You got to get out there and like improvise it, the whole thing.
Is that well, I wanted to, have you ever had sleep paralysis?
I don't think I've had sleep paralysis.
No. I had it once. Some people get it quite a lot.
Yeah.
The thing where you wake up and you can't move.
Yeah.
I had the only other time I had sleep paralysis, Alvis was in my dream.
I was gonna say he was in your room.
Yeah. He was it was like I was walking down the street and there were like loads of Alvises, and he just like I was walking down and he like came next to me and he like looked at me like really blank expression, and then it was like really eerie and I fell down a manhole cover, like I just fell down, and then I remember like I was falling, and then that's when I woke up and I tried to scream and move, but I couldn't, and then I was aware that I was in the sleep. I was like, oh, this is what sleep paralysis is.
Okay.
And then I managed to relax, or at least thought I was relaxing, and then I came out of it.
Interesting. Yeah. Have you told Elvis about that?
I haven't. I've told quite a few people, but I haven't told. I don't know what that says about Elvis.
Yeah,
in my mind.
I have a feeling like it was just he was just there because your brain randomly just picked somebody to be there, when the dream was probably more about the falling.
100%.
More of the focus.
Sometimes I have random people at the museum in my dream, like people in the galleries, like just faces that I know, but I
once had a dream that I was working in the cloakroom with Alan Shearer.
Okay.
That was fun.
You seem to have a lot of dreams with famous people in it.
Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah.
Are you watching loads of famous interviews, like people interviews, or?
I do a bit, not like loads, but I do a bit. Yeah, for sure.
So I'll go on to another one. What do you think's been done more in the world, pushing or pulling? As a general concept.
Do you mean like by people or
no? Any form of push and any form of pull. If you had to take a guess, what would you say has been done more?
If it's any form, I don't know, because you feel like it's like a subatomic level, like it must be pushing and pulling going on all the time.
Yeah.
So I have no idea about that. I feel like
subatomic.
Yeah, or like just atoms.
Oh, atom level.
Like, like fusing, like atoms fusing together and making chemicals and whatnot. There's things, all those processes of things getting like pushed or pulled into each other.
What do you think's been going like in your body, like all the cells?
Yeah.
But are they pushing? Are they even doing anything such as pushing or pulling? Are they just sort of blobbing into each other?
Perhaps I don't know enough about this stuff. But they're having a good old yeah. So push or pull. I am more of a blob. Yeah. I would say, like, generally speaking, like if I'm thinking about just like life, I would say probably pushing, because I think like you accidentally or incidentally like push something, but you rarely pull something, because that's quite a sort of a specific kind of like movement.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're accidentally tied to something, then you're going to accidentally pull it. But
like, you can pull yourself up. People are pulling themselves up.
True.
The big one is like gravity is pulling everyone.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's true.
So that's got to do big numbers.
True. Yeah. So perhaps like, yeah, and more of a sort of like, maybe in more of a sort of physics based answer, you'd probably say pulling, but
You're
I
going
think,
with pulling.
but maybe like in terms of like what humans do, like I would say pushing.
Yeah. But then if you have a push and pull door, like that's 50-50. That's push or pull. Do you think more people are pushing a push or pull door than are pulling it?
Maybe. I certainly, whatever door I'm supposed to push or pull, I do the other one.
Okay.
Like not intentionally.
Yeah.
I always get it wrong.
Yeah.
So normally it's both for me.
Yeah.
But like, but I'd say, yeah, I feel like
I'd probably go push as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for the gravity thing. More things generally, I would say, are moving in a forwards direction, and you tend to push.
Yeah.
Then moving up backwards and pulling. That's kind of where I'm gonna go.
Yeah. That feels.
Well, this leads you. Yeah. What's something that really irritates you?
What's something that really irritates me?
Shall I go first? Or?
You go first. Yeah.
Something. So I was. I actually thought of this question when I was trying to load reels. Do you watch a lot of reels or TikTok? Or?
Instagram.
Reels. Yeah, Instagram reels. Yeah. So what's really frustrating for me is when I'm on the tube and I don't do it often where I'll just scroll reels, but when you don't have enough data and the first like 2 seconds of it plays and then it pauses because you don't have any data, and then I flick onto the next one, then the first 2 seconds plays, and then I'll flick onto the next one, first 2 seconds, and then it's like I feel like I have to finish those, so I have to wait. I have to wait until I have data, and then I have to like go back up to like reset it, and that's like the amount of rage I feel on that one.
Yeah, like I hear that because like
you've got the beginnings of it.
Like I quite you quite like to sort of. You never like an awkward feeling of when you're like left halfway through something or even just something starting off. Like for me these days, like the thing that irritates me the most in a similar vein is just anything clickbait.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah. Like even if it's something that like that's like I like like just the clickbait language of just like oh, you know, here's 3 things that I think that you'll never guess, and especially number 2, and all of that kind of stuff, or rage bait, actually more so when it's just somebody saying something controversial, and like you don't even know whether or not it's a person who said that, or an AI bot, or it's clearly just designed to rile people up the wrong way. Yeah, and then you see like all of the responses that people have just sort of kind of fallen for it because because the whole point is just to get people to like to interacting with it at all boosts it and is ways of making money off of it. Whereas so quite a lot of my social media scrolling time is just me getting really angry.
Are these clickbait like articles?
Yeah, it could be articles like or linking you to articles or something like that.
So has there been an article that's been really clickbaity language, but you've actually found out the information you need to find out?
Like occasionally, but it's normally only when it's like it's normally only when it's something quite specific to an interest, and I try and set my algorithm on Instagram so that it's all like I only sort of like, other than following my friends, only music related stuff. So when it's something like that, like you want to, when it's sort of somewhat like it might be like something interesting about like the history of guitars, or a certain guitar like that was used by a certain person. That like I think there's a couple of famous instances of like people like who lost guitars like years and years ago, famous people like before they were famous, and then like they found them. A fan found it like 30 years ago or something like that. And all of these kind of things that are kind of interesting stories, but like very rarely though I find that like when it takes you somewhere, it takes you to something that like that has clearly not been like particularly like what it's linking you to is not something that's particularly like good information or well-grounded information or well researched.
Yeah, sometimes I will, especially on like desktops, you have that Microsoft Edge option or like that little Windows option that has like all those clickbaity little articles in it, and it is very. But then even like something like The Independent would be on that. Yeah,
and that's the thing, like as well, because like I'm complaining about it as if I'm sort of rising above it in some way, but I still fall for it half the time. I still get to it and I'm like, oh god, why did I do this to myself?
Well, it works. That's why people do it. I noticed with like these, well, I'm not at a point where like titling these videos because sometimes I feel like I might be missing out on people that might potentially see it just because the title's bad. I don't know what to make the title, and I don't want to make it too clickbaity, and I don't like, so it's a bit hard.
It is difficult. But I guess it works, which is why so many people do them. And there's like this classic sort of thing that happens also with like when lots of people like to produce like say guitar lesson based content, and then like there'll be like everything you thought you knew about country music was wrong. That'll be like the title, and
which I want to know what's
and it's true, and it's just like she's like, have I been thinking about country music wrong? Is this, have I? I mean, I don't know why I picked country music because I know it's one of the, I don't know that much about it, but it's just like one of those things where it just like it's all there to make sort of like almost kind of like negging you in a way, saying like you don't know what the actual truth is, and I've discovered what it is, and it makes you feel stupid for not knowing.
What is your least favorite genre of music?
My least favorite genre of music.
I feel like these questions have all been kind of negative. They've all been the dark aspects of the question rather than the positive one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could answer both, like the positive and the negative.
What's your least favorite and what's your favorite?
My least favorite, I think, is probably like it's probably music sort of like that's a lot of the sort of a lot of indie kind of old sort of indie stuff that's sort of quite dreary.
Do you have a band in mind? Just to like place it.
Like say, I normally try and avoid like wanting to criticize particular bands.
Let's not do that.
But well, I'll say one, which is the Smiths.
The Smiths.
That kind of vibe. Lots of people love them. Yeah. But I just find it so dreary and uninteresting to me. But like I like most kinds of music, but when it's sort of that kind of vibe, I don't know, just and I don't think there's like a right or a wrong answer for any of this kind of stuff. But like I think a lot of that kind of music, just my brain is just like there's no reaction from it. It just feels like it's all a bit, everyone involved is a bit bored. And
I feel like that kind of music is in films quite a bit, especially from like the 2000s.
Yeah, I think
so. You must really struggle with those films.
Yeah. I just as soon as I hear that kind of music, I just shut it down. Yep, stop. No, not going any further with this.
Yeah. What is your favorite genre then?
I guess like I have like a lot of favorite genres, to be fair, but like in terms of what I like to sort of play musically is like soul music, like old school kind of stuff. From
and that's got a nice like bass in it.
Exactly. That's kind of like a bass player's dream. A lot of that music is. So stuff like from the old Motown label, like.
Do they typically have singers on them?
Yeah. Often they do.
Yeah.
I mean, not always. Sometimes they do. There's a lot of famous sort of songs that are largely instrumental. Like there's a song called "Green Onions" by Booker T and the MGs. That's like if you don't know what it is, like if you hear it, you will know it.
Okay,
but, it's one of those ones. But stuff like Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin,
Okay.
all of that kind of stuff.
I saw a thing recently of like Stevie Wonder's beard and stuff, and it was saying like who's been doing his beard like
Oh
this?
yes, yeah.
Because he's had the same beard the whole time and it's questionable.
Yeah,
Like two brackets. Or
yeah,
something.
or it's like a circle. It doesn't. Yeah,
And it is a good point.
Yeah, I can only imagine he just says I want a circle around it.
Do you think? Yeah, because he can feel it, can't he?
You can feel it. Yeah.
All right, we're coming to the end.
That's okay.
It's been lovely having you, Stephen.
Oh, thanks. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
I'm going to end with a sentence, if I can find a decent one. My criticism of the drawings is necessarily limited to what can be seen in reproduction. There we are. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.